Yeah, oh man, hold on. Oh snap. Oh snap. Oh snap. Alonzo, call me, brother. Call me when you get this text. Call me when you get this text. Peace, peace, everybody. I'm just setting up. I just got in, man. I don't have too much today. We're just gonna do a little Q&A. We had some ripping and running to do this morning, so one of my muftis taught Sunday's adapt class, and we have so much stuff in our database. So if you're not subscribed to our Temple and School YouTube channel, please do, please do, please do, and hit us up. But here, give me a second, man. We're gonna get into it, man. Like I said, a little Q&A, try to clear some things up the best I can. We'll talk about a couple topics. But like I say, there's no such thing as a dumb question. And I'm here just to try to line some things up for brothers so they won't be out here arbitrarily explaining things to other Moors and then get upset when a lot of things is proven not real. So yeah, we'll give a couple minutes, man, and let people tap in. Because we should be sharing information with brothers and sisters. And I'm going to be gone real soon. So I've been telling Moors, a lot of stuff you're just not going to get. You're just not going to get. You're not going to get the research. You're not going to get the wisdom. You're not going to get the honesty. You're not going to be able to get the real work and see it in real time. And that's what you're seeing with me. And it scares a lot of people, you know, because the ones that's been scamming and making fake ID and saying that they can nationalize people, they've been doing that. And I've been solid for day one. I've been telling people, it's fake. It's fake. And that's why they never will read from the Gazoon of the Nation. They'll hold the book up. Yeah, I got a Gazoon of the Nation. Well, what does the preface in the Gazoon of the Nation tell you? In the preface. And if you want it, I have it. You don't have to spend $200 for it. I have it as an ebook for you. You can download it on your tablet, and then we print it and bind it for you if you want it printed and bind it. My brothers and sisters are lost due to the lack of knowledge. These Negroes on the internet are no gatekeepers. They not, and most of them haven't even been in a Masonic house, let alone the Moorish Science Temple of America. Most of these Negroes that talk about Masonic and the temple, they never stepped foot in the halls. Because if they did, tell them to explain what's in the halls when you enter, and ask them what's on the tables. They couldn't tell you. They couldn't tell you because they never been in one. They don't even know Masons. It's just a lot of rhetoric, you know. I know this for a fact. I know this for a fact. It ain't no gatekeeping nothing. And most Masons don't know shit. Excuse my candor. Most black Masons don't know who they are. And if they do, why don't they just be honest and get on here and spread the wisdom like we do freely? Tell the truth. Most Masons don't know who they are. That's why they call them Prince Hall or they call them Black Masons. They don't know. They don't know. Is brotherhood bad? No, brotherhood is not bad. Don't get me wrong. But these individuals don't know. Even our ladies, that's Eastern Stars, they don't know. They act like they know, but they don't know that they under the DAR, which is the Daughters of American Revolution, and that marriage license come from them. The marriage license comes from the DAR, which is the Daughters of American Revolution. And your mother, your auntie, or your cousin, that's an Eastern Star, will never tell you what that white fez with the gold tassel represent, because they probably don't know. They probably don't know. You know, and those are facts. And so today, it's just some Q&A, because our people need to stop that mess, that white man stuff, man. Like that's a fake thing. That's some fake religious stuff that people do. That's some fake Hebrew Israelites, some fake Islam stuff to keep you off the real mission. To keep you off the real mission. Because I don't heard them whatever Hebrew Israelite brothers say that they got more in common than a white man that they brother in Africa. And then I heard Farrakhan say that the original man hair is as straight as the hair on his eyebrows, and they had smaller lips and smaller noses, and we was cursed with big lips and kinky hair. So nobody can come to me. And then it's all Jewish old manuscripts. Surah University Hadith, that's all Jewish, and they know it. The Arabic alphabet comes from the Nabatean alphabet, Syriac, Aramaic. That's the history of it. And at Surah Academy and in the House of Wisdom, they was transferring other writings to Arabic. And these is facts. So when people be talking about some gatekeeper, these brothers don't have, it ain't no power. These brothers don't have no power. When you take an oath, you can't just, oh, what you going, when you took an oath, what? Not to tell your people the truth. These people is no gatekeepers, they suckers. I'm trying to tell you, like, I don't know why people be saying that. No, it's all junk. It's all junk. And so anybody can ask me any questions today. You know, long as it's not no trying to compare somebody to somebody, ask me something that you may have heard or you think that you've heard. And we can have that discussion from love, but not from just dealing with someone because you want to believe in what they told you so bad that's right. And when it's been proven wrong, you don't even want to correct yourself. Like, it's just a lot of things that our brothers don't know, and they're not introduced to it. And I'm transparent. I've been introduced to things. I'm part of the Philosophical Resource Society. I have a full library with over 1 million books and documents. So it ain't nothing nobody have on the internet when they talking that crap that I won't be able to fact check if it's not real. You'll never see nothing I post or anything talk about some not true, the fact checkers, you'll none of that. None of that. Can't nobody come to me and say nothing. I have all the Europeans' manuscripts. I have all the Jewish encyclopedias. I know where all that anti-Semitic phrase came up to keep you not from talking about something. I've done all this in academia, and I made them all sit on their damn hands. And if they come on here with that crap, I'm going to go all the way ham with it. I'll go all the way ham. I graduated from Grand Canyon University with a degree talking just like this in first century history and religion, talking just like this, and prove who I was through scholarship, through their books, through their history. Ain't no Greeks wrote nothing. It was the Egyptians who wrote everything in Greek. Those was Greek-speaking Egyptians. So when they come with the cap, I fact-check all that stuff. And then when you know Alexandria, when you study in the Surah Academy, when you've been able to stay and live in the museum where all scholars are, nobody can come to me with that little fake religious wisdom. None. None. Because if the language don't match what you're saying, you need to go have a seat. You need to go have several seats. And most brothers do. Even the old ones that's be promulgating that crap. Even the old ones. That's why I be waiting for these Negroes to come with that crap. Come with a whole bunch of stupid ass numbers. And this AA22 number, that ain't shit. And this 101099, that ain't nothing but a religious affidavit. So keep coming with crap, so we can keep destroying that crap with our brother getting caught up. Keep doing that. Keep acting like a sovereign citizen. Keep doing that if you want to, and see what happens. Keep thinking somebody got some notes you can go take in the bank and deposit. Keep thinking that. Keep thinking you can expatriate from this so-called de facto government. And when you do that, which the laws will let you, who do you have affiliates with? Stupid. You would be a domestic terrorist, foreigner and abroad. But these Negroes spread this, we're going to expatriate from this de facto government like they something smart. And I need a status correction. Where the hell are you, where are you getting this from? No, brother, see, that's why I said people don't be listening. Brother said, how do I go about adding my title to my name on my birth certificate? I'm from up north, so I can't just walk in the office. I explained it. That's why I be telling people a lot of stuff I don't talk about on here because I say it over and over and it fall on deaf ears with all due respect. That's why I be saying if people want the answers, man, do me a consultation when people get in trouble and they go get a court reporting attorney or whatever. I done gave the answer a plethora of times. I gave it a plethora, and if anybody follow me and caught what I say, I give the answer every time. I gave it the other day. I gave it. I gave the answer. I gave the answer. And nobody was listening. And now once we come again, we answering the same question, but a little different. Because you asked me about a status correction the other day, if this the same person, and I answered it. And so that should have been like, oh, if this is this, then this is this. That's why I'm saying brothers need to be students. It don't matter if you in Texas. It don't matter. I got muftis in Texas. My mufti Drayshawn in Texas. My mufti Drayshawn in Texas. He gonna pop up on here in a minute. All my brothers gonna pop up on here in a minute. And they'll all tell you, everybody had the same questions you had. That's why I be telling people, come to school. And all my mufti, like he just answered you. You wasn't listening? With all respect, with all love, I'm not being, mean or nothing. That's why I tell people, you need to be able to sit right next to a person. Just like extra studies, just like if I'm your Sufi or I'm teaching you sticky hands and Wing Chun and you want to learn more. So you're going to have to stay more. You might have to have after school activity. You might have to get me as a tutor and say, hey man, well, I'm going to stay longer to learn and blah, blah, blah. That's what being a student about. That's why I say people, when I say Q&A, people start asking me a million questions, but when you get in trouble, you retain an attorney and you give them what? A retainer fee. And the retainer fee is about $500, depending on where you at, for them to even hear or ask questions. So a lot of things what you asking, brother master, is sovereign citizen talk. This is what I'll be telling you. That talk, like a correction status or status correction and all that. That's sovereign citizen talk. That's why I'll be telling how Moors be getting in trouble and they don't even know it. All the language, the vernacular we use can get us hemmed up. So I'm gonna clear this up for you. You said, how do I go about adding my title? What you mean title? To my name on my birth certificate. I'm from up north. You said, I'm from up north, so I just can't walk in the office. That's even better if you just don't walk in. Well, if you don't walk in, that means what? You just gotta sign the paper. So once again, I'm asking you a question. What title you talk about? How do you add your title to your name? What title? I'll wait. What title? Mr., Mrs.? What title you talk about? I'll wait. Because you remember, as a teacher and as a mapper and a guy, I deal with specifics. You gotta be specific with me. So what title you talking about to your birth certificate? I'll wait and watch. I'll wait. I wanna see what you're talking about. Because we helping people. I'll wait. And see what you say. Or somebody, anybody. You said how do you add your title to your birth certificate? Because you just can't walk in there. Because you in Texas. Okay. My mufti live in Texas. If anybody was on here the other day, my mufti Drayshawn in Texas. So once again, what do you mean adding your title to your birth certificate? I'll wait. If anybody can answer that, this how you learn. There's no such thing as a stupid question. That's why I'm answering it for people. And people don't be liking to tell them where they got this rhetoric from. And I'll be asking people, where do they hear this stuff from? Nobody will say nothing. And then I'll be knowing where they get it from. And then I'll be blocking the people. Because I'll be thinking they agents. Because I'm like, you playing a game with me. Tell me where you got it from. Or where you getting this type of language? No one would say. You got to come from somewhere. It got this stuff got to come from somewhere. And so I'll wait for you to answer the question. You said, how do you go about adding my title to my name on my birth certificate? What's your title to your name? I'm waiting. How do you add your title to your name? What title? Because see, I don't understand what you're talking about. That ain't no title. That ain't no title. That's not a title. That's what I'm telling you. What a title. Anybody know what it is? It's not a title. So when you come with that language or you go on here trying to make a point, off top, boom, boom, sovereign citizen. So when I'm saying, when I'm adding title to my birth certificate, once again, I want to know what we're talking about. Because you said, how do you go about adding a title to your birth certificate? And you said your L and B. And I say, well, why do you think it's a title? Why do you think it's a title? And I share this with everybody, private. That's why I tell people come to class. Brothers don't want to give donations, and I'm real in real life, but they want to ask 15 million questions, and I correct them. And all my moves, they don't have a problem. I say become a student. I answer everything. I don't answer it a million times on my YouTube channels. I answered it the other day when everybody was here. So if anybody remember what I said, that's why I say, do you write notes down? It's a certain way to be a student. If I say come to class and have this and that, and nobody have it, nobody write notes down, then nobody can be a student of mine. I'll tell them never to come back. Because what'll happen is a person has asked you the same question over and over and over, and students that's applying wisdom and their aptitude is like, well, he lectured this and we wrote notes. We all got notes. Well, you don't got no notes. You weren't paying attention. And I'm not saying you, but I'm saying in general. I covered this, and when a person asked me about a status correction, it should have clicked, but it don't be clicking. It don't be clicking for Moors. And I say, okay, if I told you the status correction is bullshit, and then we talk about a title, how do we add our title to our birth certificate because I'm up north and I just can't walk in? That don't make sense. So if you just can't walk in and do it, how else would you do anything or go about getting a new birth certificate or anything? How would you go about getting a new one? How would you go about getting a new one? That's why I said the stuff that I be giving people, nobody want to give a donation. So why should I be giving all the wisdom? And people be saying they be part of temples. And I'm like, well, who your sheik? What temple? How long you been in Moore? Oh, I've been studying for years. How? Under what? What you been studying for years with these type of questions? And people won't say nothing. Because I know where the bullshit come from. Then they go right back to that bullshit and say, well, such and such said this. And then they come to you with some rhetoric and because they want to sell you some bullshit. Or they old. I'll be waiting for where do people get this crap from? They won't say. And I bet you them frauds won't come around me with that bum broke shit. I bet you that. I bet you none of them bums will come around me with that broke bum stuff. I guarantee you that. So I'll be waiting. I'll be waiting for some people to answer it. And that's what happened when I get with all these Moors on the internet. They'll never say nothing where they got that bullshit from. Excuse my candor. Where they getting all this language from. I told everybody to research Roger Elvick the other day. Nobody researched Roger Elvick. If a person would have took the time to research Roger Elvick, everything that you asked me, you would know like this is some bullshit. You would have been calling me, emailing me, like, Sheik, I done messed up, woo, 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 but we don't. And that's how I know brothers don't be listening. They be coming asking me the same old bullshit like they think they finna get something. So when you do all this and when you put all this on your Social Security, whatever, how your life gonna change? What you get ready to get? Is your job gonna change? Are you gonna make more money? You gonna be off welfare? All this shit that we be thinking means something don't mean a goddamn thing. Excuse my candor. If you really think about it. We just be taking things because people be talking about it and nobody life change. It ain't no economy. It ain't no Moors businesses. It ain't no Moors nothing. The Moors don't produce nothing. If you Moors, where the feds is at? I got own companies. We produce feds, kufis, books, everything. I got my own infrastructure. When I want to write a book, I write a book. I got my own print press. So once again, where do the rhetoric come from? When brothers be asking me this stuff. Research Roger Elvick and tell me what you get. And then tell me it's what you asking me is the same shit that these Europeans done. And the other Europeans, the Paradigm Group and Canada. And we be taking this shit, letting these agents bring it in our community. And then people be asking me about this dumb shit. And if they watch my videos and my YouTube videos, I've been silent from day one. I got thousands of videos clearing this crap up. Thousands of videos on my YouTube thousands of correcting anything. So if anybody will research me just like professors or anything do, they'll know my handle. But we don't do that. We don't. It's just like if you go into the doctor and you don't know nothing, you just going to let them diagnose you. You don't have no questions. You don't know nothing about nothing. You can't ask nothing. Whatever they tell you, that's what it is. No research, no nothing. No notes. And I tell everybody, if you was taking my college course, I'll fail you. And I'll do your third day, I'll tell you, don't come back. Because you wouldn't have no notes. And all, if I'm giving you a test, no matter if it's multiple choice or if it's an essay, I give all the freaking answers. You was told each name meant something else, El Debe Ali, and they were titled. Okay, but what that got to do with your birth certificate? We can't go to the next question. What that got to do with birth certificate? El Day, Ali, all that. What that got to do? If it meant something different, okay, and I'm saying, I'm asking, what that mean? I always want to know when we put these in our names and all this. I want to know where we getting this stuff from to say correct. adding my title to my birth certificate. Where do we get this from? So I can correct it all. And you can, that's why I'm asking. And nobody say nothing. And that's why I be blocking Moors with respect. Now I'm not saying you because nobody never say nothing. I say, where do you hear this from? Are you part of a temple? If you're part of a temple, what temple are you from? And what sheik is promulgating? Or I watch some YouTube videos. I'm learning. Okay, so who you learn this from? Who is brothers learning from? Did anybody research Roger Elvick and see who Roger Elvick was? And then tell me any of that stuff you talking about sound like that? I be won't, and I'm glad you asking these questions, brother man. So I'm not picking on you or nothing, brother. I'm glad you on here because this is how we get from stuck in the quicksand by asking. So I'm honoring you, and what I'm doing, since nobody's not saying nothing, or nobody be afraid to say things, I'm just asking questions back to you. And when I do that, you'll be like, damn, it don't make sense. So now, let me ask the next question. You just answered. I was told each name meant something else. El, Bay, like El and Bay, Day, Al, Ali, yes, it's just religious suffix. That's all it is. You add, you annex. So if anybody know what annexing is, I want you to look this stuff up. You annexing your El or your Bay, and that's your religious suffix. I'm showing you how to navigate. I'm giving you the right vernacular so you don't be out here looking like no stupid ass sovereign citizen. The vernacular, you add your religious suffix. Noble Drew Ali didn't change his name. His name was Timothy Drew. Noble Drew Ali. He added his religious suffix to his name. You have to understand how to navigate. That's his religious suffix. A suffix is just like a Mr. This is your religious suffix. This is your religious suffix. Now I'm a Moroccan, and no, you're not no freaking Moroccan. So it's your religious suffix. So if you want to add anything, now use your brain. If you want to add anything, and I just said your religious suffix, you not changing nothing. You are correcting a mistake. You are correcting a mistake. Hey man, and I'm just being goofy. Hey man, you know what? When I was born, my mom and them didn't know who I was. They didn't know who they was. They thought we were black. I'm educated now, and I have a sheik, a teacher, and I'm correcting something. I'm adding my religious suffix. Ain't nobody gonna ask you that. But you can play the game like, man, I didn't know, and now I know. You have the right, just like when people change their name, you have the right to annex your religious suffix. So why would you go down there asking anybody anything? If you can't physically go in no place in Texas, okay, get the goddamn paper for a birth certificate that you need a new one. You get the birth certificate, you fill it out with your L or your Bay on there, turn the shit in. Wow, what's so different than that? I don't know why everybody be thinking this shit so difficult, because they be want to go there and make a grandstand like they doing something so magical. I say, man, people stupid. You ain't got to do nothing special. If you want to have your feds on your driver's license, okay, we'll go take a new driver's license ID. If they ask you anything, it's my religious headdress. That's it. I didn't take my driver's license with my feds on because it was too hot. I wear my kufi. If I wanted to, I would have. If when I was working, I wear my feds at work because I know the precedent in law. I wear my feds at work, in court, or in the military. I know the doc numbers. I teach this. You see Moors on the internet, they'll never wear their fez to work. They be strictly costume on the internet. All my Moors, and when they want to wear their fez, they wear it to work. They wear their turbans and everywhere. Everywhere. Because I teach it. I'm a teacher. I know all the doc numbers. You can wear your fez, your turban in the military, at work, and in court. How I know? I've done it over and over and over. That's why. So did I clear it up? I hope you answer this. People be getting this shit from these damn TV stations and won't say nothing when they come on my page. And then I say, where you getting this bullshit from so we can nip it in the bud? Nobody will say something. Like we afraid of each other. I said, that's like you having a damn uncle or a cousin, somebody in your family that's a pedophile, and we don't say nothing and they keep doing it. No, we busting your motherfucking head wide open. Yeah, I know. I'm glad you're saying it. Thank you. Thank you for telling the truth. This is what I be telling people. People be afraid, oh, he's the elder. I don't give a shit. I was informed by other Moors like brothers on YouTube, Taj, Duke of Tears, Dolo, the first. Yeah, Dolo from Detroit. Yeah, I know. I'm from Flint, Michigan. The Dolo, yeah, to talk about the army, all that crazy shit. Where all these people be at now? all that goofy ass rapping street shit, all that making video with some Masonic gloves in the paper, reading some shit. That's all internet bullshit. And people be falling for this shit. These Negroes ain't never stepped in a Masonic house. Don't y'all see stupid shit in your face? How you gonna listen to somebody talk about Freemason, all this shit come off the internet and printed paper, and they ain't never been in no Masonic lodge? How? Are we that stupid? And that's what we do. These people be on here playing, rapping, smoking Black and Miles. There ain't nothing wrong with it. Rapping, stupid shit, pulling out paper, standing in front of buildings. That's what you want to follow? That's what we want our kids to follow? Entertainment. That's what I'll be telling us. So I'm glad you telling the truth, brother. And no, cause nobody will open their mouth. Nobody. And then, he said Duke of Tyre. Do Duke of Tyre teach that? And that's what I be saying, being with crowds with people that's talking shit. Any of them more to come around me, I ain't your friend. We gonna clear that shit up. Don't nobody got no special paperwork and no badge you can wear around your neck and the police gonna leave some AA22 number. That wasn't nothing but a goddamn a doc number that you can look up in the Library of Congress of a CM Bay piece of work. That's what that is. These Negroes be lying, and they was using it to and they was using it not to pay taxes. That ain't no get out of jail free card. That's why I be laughing. I ain't on nobody's side. I ain't on nobody's side. Yes, a lot of them brothers be saying some good shit, but then when the good shit, boom, when they think they got niggas in good, boom, here come the rhetoric. And yes, this stupid ass badge you done got made, and when the police see this stupid shit like it means something, cosmetics, you gonna get your head bust wide open to the white meat. That's what's gonna happen. And they know it. I wish any of them clowns come with that. Man, I fly anywhere on my own dollar. I don't need nobody to give me nothing. When Polite was out, I popped in Vegas. When a Muslim dude, Ben X, jumped on my page, I said, say something. Because they know I'm 48. I've been around for years. When people come with that gang, that shit come from the conscious community. Y'all know it. I destroy that fake shit. And that's where everybody learned that shit from, doing COVID. When them niggas debating. Real talk, saying they can nationalize you and denationalize you. And I told y'all can't nobody do that. That's comedy. That's European stuff. That's paradigm group stuff. I told people this. Oh, I need a status correction. What's a status correction? You correcting a mistake. You don't need no status correction. You are your mother's child, without a doubt. Research your coat of arms. Your last name is your coat of arms, AKA your family crest. Like when y'all see my jacket and it have my family crest on it, that's your coat of arms. Like the Moorish head, this is a coat of arms. This is a family crest. When you research your last name, whatever your last name might be, Bryant. Research Bryant family crest. All the Europeans been named after you. So what you talking about status correction? You ain't add no status correction. And then if they paperwork don't mean nothing, then what? Think about it. You ain't thought that far. Their paper don't mean shit. That's why you get adopted through your religious rights. The religious rights trump all that. You get adopted through your religion. That's why our temple in school, we got our religious right. None of my brothers had to get no shot. I don't care if the job tell them that. That's their religious right. We ain't saying we for it or we ain't saying we against it. What we saying, we have the right not to participate. And here go our religious rights, which trump anything else. This is what I'm telling people. But it go over their head. And then these Moors get in trouble and they disappear. And they ride away in the sunset. I'm telling you what I know. Tell me I'm lying. Most of these people all be trying to sell you some pills or some herbs like it's some magic and shit, and they be skinny as hell. I said, man, boo, that shit fake. Ain't no magic pill, no beanstalk. Anything anybody selling you, I'll show you. Anything anybody selling you, some pills, some anything, I'll show you how to make the concoction because I'm a herbalist. I got every fucking thing. I got everything. Any herb, anything somebody trying to sell you, some apple of Eve, I got all the ingredients. I am the herbalist from Home Study. I got all the manuals from the doctor from Honduras that Dr. Sebi was studying from. So big facts. And I got all the manuscripts. That's what people be holding from y'all. I got them all. That's why I be telling you, I know where this shit come from. I don't respect no old person. People been doing this shit to you forever. And then first they be talking about some Zodiacs. When they came out, that's how they got everybody. The black woman is God. Okay, we get that. But then they switch. And then you had these brothers talk about they some consulate, Morocco consulate, some consulate. And people talk about they was nationalized through the Moorish consulate, through the sheik you said on there, whoever, Taj Sharish Bey and the bald-headed dude, Shalimar Bey. And everybody be acting like that wasn't happening. And I got all the videos. I got everything. I got people talk about they claim their nationality through this, and that, and the other. I said, man, you get ready to go to jail. I said that don't mean nothing. And then a lot of these people be agents. Where's Shalom Marbet at? Y'all know what I'm talking about, Shalom Marbet? Y'all remember that? With him and what y'all say, that's what he said he was learning from Tajari Bey. That's what he said. Y'all don't remember them on there talking about they was the Moorish consulate? Y'all don't remember that? And then I told y'all, all they did is put their name on Clock of Destiny. That round table stuff, that's Clock of Destiny stuff. Tell me I'm lying. And then them brothers did talk about that there was some Moorish consulate, and people was talking about they were claiming their nationality through some Moorish consulate with the person that my man said the Grand Sheik. Yeah, see, they did the whole fake old thing, and they were talking about they was nationalizing people. Yeah, his name was Shalom Marbet, a dark-skinned black dude, bald-headed, but his wife was a European. They probably tried to, they probably tried to delete it all. They probably tried to delete it all. And they know I'm telling the truth. And they was going around talking about they was nationalizing people. How? You can't nationalize or denationalize the people. You can ask me anything y'all can ask. And this ain't no slander, no disrespect to no one. Because you can't have two sciences. You can't have two sciences. You can't. You can't have nobody playing with you because you like how it sounds. You should want somebody to tell you the truth no matter how it's to you. That's what you should want. You should be able to ask people questions without them getting mad. These people don't have nothing. It ain't nothing that these people can't do. Don't give these people your social security number. And why would you give somebody your social security number? And then they make you some ID with the same thing that they say expire. And then they make you an ID with dates on there that expire. But then they talk about this, why the dates that expire, then you get some shit from these retardo fardos that expire. That's why I be telling you, the people be dealing with a whole bunch of incompetent fools that's playing a stupid ass game. I'm telling you, they playing a stupid game. They'll tell you that they ain't American, they Moroccans, and you got to expatriate from the de facto government. Well, when you expatriate from the de facto government, don't you know you will be a domestic terrorist, foreign and abroad? When you do this stupid ass shit, excuse my candor, y'all, you will be a domestic terrorist, foreign and abroad. You will be a domestic terrorist. We know this, right? Ask me anything. Ask me anything. I know where all this crap come from. I know where all the crap come from. And I'm going to stay here. You're going to see a clean glass and a dirty glass. I don't never got to reinvent myself. What does it mean to be part and parcel? Okay, I need to get you the state booklet, Noble. I have to go see part and parcel of the government. What? This government. And we made our own in the state booklet. I break it down. That's why, you know what? Let me see something. Matter of fact, I can cut this off. I'll answer that for you right now, if I can be specific for you. Matter of fact, no, I want to do something for you. I'm gonna do something for you. I'm gonna do something for you, which nobody probably never did for you. I'm gonna do this for you, and I'm gonna let you go through it, and I'm gonna let you come back to me next time we talk, and then you will be able to have a little dialogue and see if you read it in the state booklet. What's your email? Put your email up here. I'm finna send you something right now, and then I want you to read it, and then we can have a conversation. How about that? I'll do that for you. I'll do you even a bigger solid. I'll send you this right here. This how the temple set up. Now, the brothers in there, Marcel Walden L, the brothers from Chicago. Hold on. Hello? Hello? The brother Marcel Walden L, he like, when Moors be saying, oh, they don't pay taxes, well, he went to jail for filing fake taxes and had a lot of his members file taxes, and they got in trouble. Hold on. Hello?
Hey,
Hey.
my phone was at home. My sick mama get her nails and stuff done and her hair cut.
Okay, I'm back at the house. I'm on YouTube. I'll call you back in a minute, okay?
Oh, you on live? Okay.
All right, bye.
All right, bye.
And yeah, and a lot of them went to jail. When they be talking that rhetoric, oh, Moors don't pay taxes and all that. But then why you go to jail and all that for filing fake taxes and got all your people in trouble? And they made an example out of him because he's supposed to be the leader. You supposed to be not leading your people in the burning house. So he ended up getting in trouble for that. And so, even though when I say, if the prophet is not right, the temple is not right. That's when I read the proclamation declaration. I'll read that again. We don't do all that stuff. That's against our proclamation and declaration. And in 2012, all the mayors signed the proclamation saying that we were Moors, and it's Moorish American Week. So I'll send you this. And you don't got to give me donation. I'll bless you with this. Because I want you to read. And a lot of times, brothers, it mean more. Like, you need to know what state mean and the whole thing and get an idea and be like, oh, I see. Because the people be talking about some part and partial, but be making shit up because you don't have it. You don't have how the temple set up. That's why this burn their fingertips off. So when I teach, it's like if we was in school, if you ask for something, I give you the manuals, then you'll learn. This how the prophet set the temple up. All the stuff that you can get from the CCRD, the County Clerk Recorder of Deeds. It's all in here for you. So I always ask brothers and sisters, do they have how the temple is set up? So you can have it, because if I say it, then I'm just saying it. Then you will know what the term said government is. Then you will know the truth of that. You will know what fee simple, absolute, all that is. You will really have a true idea. And most brothers don't, because they don't have the information. So it'll take me all day to talk about the part and parcel. But I just gave you a little tittle. To open your hippocampus up. And you will be able to be like, that's not true. And they'll be like, no, but you all need this. No. You ain't got to listen to me. Here go how the temple's set up. Here it is. I always say if the prophet is not right, the temple is not right. I always say that. I always say that all the time. Like, dude, where people be basing where they be getting it from. That ain't how the temple set up. That's how they get in trouble. Here go the state booklet. Right here. And then I'll be asking Moors and Shiites, do they have it? No. Well, then you don't know how the temple is set up. Well, I heard. I don't care what nobody heard. If they say they through the Moorish Science Temple like I am, then they should have the stuff through the Moorish Science Temple of America. There's only one. We only got one bylaw. We only got one declaration. So when people be making stuff up, all you got to do is ask them to prove it. They can't show you. Nothing. It'll always be like some old folk tales. Like people be saying, well, 600,000 years ago. Man, I don't want to hear that. You saying this is bull crap. Show me. Because we have bylaws. We have records of things. And nobody can show you. But I can. That's why nobody show this stuff. Especially all these people that they say, well, they Moorish Science Temple or this and all that. Then they should have this, which they do. But they know nobody else have it. So they can just say whatever. They can just say a whole bunch of bull crap. But they ain't gonna go over the state booklet with you. I done lectured the state booklet a plethora of times. This burn their fingertips up too. Like I said, maybe I'll go over it another day. I don't want to do it tonight. But I'm offering it to anybody that want it. If you want to give a donation for it, you can. But if not, I'll give it to you. You should want to give a donation. And then I got the letter from the CCRD telling Sheikh Love El and other Sheikh Love El that the 1099 ain't no trust fund at the end of the rainbow. I showed y'all that the other day. When these more talk about, oh, the 1099, we got a trust fund at the end of the rainbow. No, you don't. I showed that it wasn't no trust. That wasn't nothing but a religious affidavit. And you can go to the CCRD, the County Clerk Recorder of Deeds, and get that letter with the seal on it or without a seal on it. The seal means it's official. Without the seal, it's just a copy for a small fee. I showed y'all that the other day. That's why I said the people was in class listening. They were like, he showed all that. He proved all this. It was like, so if anybody should be want something or be learning, this should be it. But we don't. People that jump on, I'm telling you, I'm finna be gone in a minute. Like literally. I'm getting ready to be done doing videos on YouTube. Done. My muftis might have to show snippets, but I'm gonna be done with it. That's all I'm saying. I'm gonna be done with it. I've been doing this for a long time. And I love it. You know what I mean? No, because it ain't. I give the proof. I don't care what they say. I gave the proof. They be arguing, man. It don't matter. You can just say, man, you lying. The brother done gave us the letter from the CCRD, and this was in 2016. It don't matter what they saying. That'll show you how far somebody will go with the lies and the bullshit. Excuse my candor. You know, that's how far extreme people do. You know, when I just showed and improved that it's all bull crap, they'll still go on. They'll still go on with the bull crap. You know what I mean, y'all? And I just illuminated this the other day, and they'll get to arguing. Well, what? Let me see if I can. Let me see if I can find a letter in my notes. Matter of fact, boom. Yep, I got both letters. And here go the letter to the CCRD. Watch this. Watch this. This is how you catch them all up in a rat trap. It'd be too easy. Right here. Here go the letter from the CCRD. That's in 2016. Remember, I read it. Let me read the last page, though. This is the part that had me cracking up. It says, let me read one of these questions they'll ask them. Watch this. This shit sounds so stupid. Oh, he didn't. Oh, damn. He got pages missing. Okay, it's okay. But I'll read this page, this little bit. It says, is this office aware that the unauthorized issuance and collections of funds resulting from said issuance continues a breach of registrar's fiduciary duty as custodian, criminal fraud, embezzlement, etc.? This is what they say. Yes, that's right. Yes. It says response. Your position is it says your position. It says hold on, let me go back. Oh shoot. Hold on. Well, let me go back to the front page. It says, in her capacity as the registrar of Torrance title, what is the full scope of the fiduciary duty owed to document 1010-5905 and the resulting entity, the Moorish Zion Temple of America, as the body politic named in said document? Response. After reading your question, I assume that you are asking what the recorder's duties and responsibilities are in relation to this and other documents in this regard. The recorder has two specific duties and responsibilities. Listen up. First, the recorder is responsible for recording documents that are entitled to be recorded. What? The documents that's recorded. So when the temple set up, you have to follow a certain structure. Second, the recorder has the responsibility of being the custodian of all recorded documents. Document 1010-5905 is not an affidavit of organization under the religious, the 1010-5905 is an affidavit of organization under the Religious Corporation Act, 805 ILCS 110 ET.SEQ, under the Religious Corporation Act. And there are specific requirements that need to be met in order for this document to be recorded pursuant to that act. And then I just gave you it. At the time this document was presented, the CCRD, it met all of those requirements as it was recorded. That's what the prophet did. As custodians for the document, they say they'll provide such copy to any customer if they pay a fee. But I want to read the last page because I got a page missing. But I can send it to anybody. I got it in my notes. I just had this in the file. But it says, in some of your, it says, oh no, this is the good one. It says, is this office aware that the unauthorized issuance and collections of funds resulting from said issuance constitutes a breach of registrar's fiduciary duty as custodian, criminal fraud, embezzlement, etc.? Listen to this. The response. Your position is legally and factually incorrect. Please see the relevant statutory authority reference above. Hold on. It says, in some of your other correspondence, you indicate that the CCRD has refused to file certain real estate and non-real estate related documents and index them under Trust 1010-5905. To be clear, document 1010-5905 is not a trust document. This document is simply an affidavit of organization under the Religious Corporation Acts. What this means is that the document serves as a record that the Moorish Zion Temple of America is organized, incorporated as a religious corporation under the Religious Corporation Act. The CCRD is not a trust, not a trustee of any trust or trust assets maintained by or for the benefit of the MSTA. That responsibility lies with the Moorish Zion Temple of America. And they don't have nothing. These Negroes be lying. It ain't no trust at no end. It's just fake. It's just fake. And I told people this a long time ago, but we don't listen. You get caught up with characters that sound good. Well, he sound good. Man, it's stupid. 1 Thessalonians 5:21, prove all things. Who lying to you, me or them? If you are having difficulty recording certain documents in our office, please refer to the recording requirements referenced in the legal authority cited above. And finally, you indicate that you would like the MSTA to place employees in the CCRD for various purposes. State law clearly indicates that you have no authority to demand that you employ members of your congregation in our office. The recorder has the right to control the internal operations of her office. See precedented law, doc number 55 ILCS 5-3-5005.2. If you have any further questions regarding this letter, please submit them in writing to me at James Gleaf, Cook County, Illinois.gov. You see how you can clear these brothers lying to everybody about some trust fund at the end of the rainbow, and then these liars will stand on it, and I just gave y'all the paper, and from the law, and so you will leave all them brothers in a burning house and still kick that rhetoric. Do you see what I'm saying, y'all? This is what I'm saying. It's like this is the hypocrisy of this. And people be like, well, people be like, well, they my elder. Nobody is my elder if what you promulgating can be proven wrong. You can't get mad at nobody for doing that. You can't get mad. You can't be upset. Why are you upset? And then if you sincere, you should be like, well, you know what? I was sincerely wrong. Oh no, I got all the pages. Yeah, I got all the pages. I thought I was missing some pages. So, and then question 2, it said, what are the proceedings and filing documents at the IRC Register Corporation? I don't want to read all this, but I read the good part to y'all. But it's like 8 questions. And they answering every one, you know? That's what I be saying, man. People need to be, I be telling people, stop the cap, especially Moors. Nobody can be mad at what I'm doing. We clean our own house up. You know? It says, has this office done any competent research to determine who are the current executive rulers of the Adapt Chamber of the Moorish Science Temple of America, sheiks with powers and duties similar to that of trustee? Response, it is my understanding that the current sheiks of the Moorish Science Temple of America are reflected in recorded documents that amend document 1010-5905. So what they saying is, what the hell you asking this for? We ain't probably no temple. It should be in y'all paperwork that we the register of that say who the sheiks is. What you talking about? And if they change, then change the paperwork then. What are you talking about? You see how simple this stuff is? You see how simple this stuff is? If there were any changes to the trustees of the organization that are not reflected in these documents, the CCRD would not be aware of them. Why? Because them Negroes ain't changing. They ain't part of it. It's just like if you was a part of a church, anything, and y'all on the records and the bylaws, and things change, you can change the records. Oh, this person ain't a pastor no more, or this person ain't a deacon no more, whatever, how. It's you say who it is. You see how easy this stuff is, man? And all you got to do is be like, yep, she telling the truth. I know. It says, is this office aware that the only founder, Prophet Noble Drew Ali, has the authorization to issue document 1010-5905 as such the case since 8/1/29? Let me see, what question is that? They say, although I am unaware of what you mean by issuing the document, but part of the recorder's duties include maintaining recorded documents and providing certified and non-certified copies of recorded documents for sale to to the public. C55 ILCS. This now, the Moorish Science Temple of America is a theocracy. So that means just like say you are the power of attorney or somebody in the flesh. CCRD only records that paper you turn in. You say what? Hold on, what'd you say? You said CCRD only records the paper you turn in. You damn right. You damn right. The only paper that you turn in, that you said, they ain't naming nothing. And then when the prophet died, the way the temple is set up, the members, it goes on. The same way my temple in school is set up. That's why I be telling people, like, when you have the right information, you would be like, man, that's why I be telling y'all. That's why I'm not in this to go viral. I'm not in this to be lying to people. Man, do y'all know how many emails I got during so-called COVID when people talk about Sheik nationalized me? And I told them the truth, and people was like, man, you an honest man. You know, it's so many people came to me, and so many people came to me with that. I got the state booklet right here. You know, so all these people that was nationalizing people, all these women that was making IDs, talking about this your tribal card. All these people done all this stuff and got in trouble and lost their lives and still driving without license and stuff. All this stuff, and I say, how your life changing or how is it better? None. Not like literally, y'all. Like nobody life is working with this rhetoric. Ask me something else. I got about 10 more minutes and I'm out. Ask me something else. See, this stuff not hard. Can't wait to read it and get down on my homework. That's why I be telling people I got way more. I'm like, it's too easy. People be saying, yeah, no, our prophet told us to go down to the city hall and get a mayor's license. No, he doesn't. That little book said that. I forget the book called Resurrection. I think it was written by Dingale or somebody, and they got him looking like the prophet holding the Asiatic woman. And there's a chapter in there talking about, yeah, you go down and get your marriage license. No, you don't. You don't go get a marriage license. That's like buying your wife from the other person, like our prophet said. You don't have to do that. Your religious rights trump that. You don't have to bring a third party in. You don't. You can do that with your religious head. I'm telling you what I know, and y'all can have your own paper, and then y'all can put it in the paper if you want people to know like that, just like that. But you don't have to. When you do that, you abide by their rules. This is law because your religious rights trump it. They don't tell you this. You think anybody in the temple that was having unions went down to the city hall? Do you really think that? So you think the city hall got the Moors, their marriage unions, and their records for them getting married, going through a third party contract? Do you think any of the Moors that what the prophet was teaching went to the city hall and got married? Said, "Oh, if you wanted your wife," prophet said, "then you go do a marriage with the city hall." That don't even make sense. We got our own records to hold our license. We don't need to do that. That's law. That's law. That's law. Your religious laws trump all that stuff. Your religious laws trump all that stuff. Your religious laws trump all that stuff. These is big facts. This is what I be telling people. I say, man, ask me anything. I never tell you nobody no lie. I never tell nobody no bull crap. I know Moors that be promulgating all this stuff and never even touch the Moors Quran. Never even touched the Moors Quran one day in their life. I said, so you never studied the Moors Quran? Yeah. And then it tell us that in our Moors Quran. It's in chapters. That's why I be like, so you don't know what chapters in the Moors Quran if you go into a union where your sheikh read from. Or your divine minister, because your sheikh can be both like I am. Like, come on, that don't even make sense. We come from our Quran. It's chapters in there. That's why I be telling people, I'm like, we be lost. We be lost, man. Yep. Any questions? Yep. Got a few more minutes. It's just sad that our own brothers be preying on us from our lack of understanding. Like, I have a full library, man. Like, I quote books And when I be on the college lecturing, all the college kids be looking them up like this book costs 2,500. And so I do the same thing on the college campus I do here. And no more is get the books. And it'd be pennies at a dollar. I said, man, you don't know the value of what I'm doing, giving people these ebooks for small donations, and you can print and buy them. They are the original books. Nobody is going to Amazon buying no book for $3,000, let alone 500. I know this for a fact, and you know it too. I'm telling you, I have every book that mean anything to our history, our culture, science, spirituality, finance, metaphysics, Gnostic science, Kemetic science, the rose and the cross, the so-called Islamic, but it comes from the Nabatean alphabet. I'll come from the Surah library and show you all that stuff. What you think is what it is, it's not. I'll show you exactly how it go with the right language, and nobody can deny what we're saying. This is the science that need to be promulgated. I don't have a motive because the truth has no sides. It's like a lion; it can defend itself. And if I say this is what it is, or if I'm saying, "Hey, man, ride with me, let me show you," and you say, "Well, show me," and I'm showing, not only showing you, I'm giving it to you, for you can read it for yourself, for you can have it, for you can smell it, for you can ingest it. It means more. It means more when you say, man, this brother is giving it all here. You can be like, it's right here. But then a person, that's why I say, only a smart person can play dumb. When a person comes from that angle, you don't even got to show your hand. You can just ask a liar a question and watch the liar go up because they think they got a dummy. And you already know that they coming with some bullshit. And that's why I tell people, a lot of people, I say, when you have a conversation with Morris, don't give them don't show both hands and see the angle. You will be like, ooh, all you got to do is shake their hand and walk away and never talk to them again. Why? Because you see their angle is off, especially if they're trying to tell you something. Think about it. I told us, man, it's only one science, it's only one temple, it's only one law, it's only one history, period. That's it. And we have to be honest with the work that we do. So as more as we operate out of our religion and pay our taxes to our temple, brother Master, I just broke this stuff down. That's why I said, brother, I would wish brothers would take the time to be students. Like, okay, I'll give an analogy, something very simple, because I always like to give examples. Okay, say if you were just part of regular church, this is how we get hustled in our communities with these so-called black churches. In your so-called black church, you giving your tithes and offerings. At the end of the year, your church is supposed to give you a taxes and receipt to claim on your taxes. A lot of churches don't. A lot of people don't ask for them. So, the next example, what'd you say? No, I understand. I'm just double checking. Yeah, you should. I would. And I'll get a taxes and receipt. And then I figure out my taxes based off how much that I make, and then I give what I'm supposed to give because you might have to give more than 10% depending on how much you're making in the state. So it's just those things that you want to figure out. Once everybody understand that, that's how the temple grows. How? Because we giving it away already, brother Mansa. We already giving it away to Uncle Sam. How? And then most people that don't have any deductions, you end up on Uncle Sam because you have no deductions. But you will when you're part of a religious and charitable contribution of your choice that's tax exempt for the federal government. And when you're working with in your temple or your school or your religious organization, all my muftis have positions. They coach kids all through our nonprofits in all the different states, and so they are able to get in kind service. In kind service is a form of payment. Like I can't pay them, so like I'll give an example. One of my muftis for his service that he do driving back and forth, we able to give him a stipend or in kind service of $1,000 a month. And so that's an extra, I just used the 12 months. That's an extra 12,000 tax credit that he'll be able to use along with his tax exempt receipt that he's given to the temple, you know. And so that's how we build. And that's what I'm telling people, like it's working. And that's what I've been speaking on, most places I've been going, a lot of the colleges I've been going to, because I'm alumni and I'm getting a lot of professors to support what I'm doing because they like what I'm doing. They like my book company that I did. I help a lot of college students graduate get books where they don't have to eat up their financial aid. So it's happening. And I just try to share this with brothers and sisters to be like, listen, it's not gonna change our lifestyle, what I'm trying to show brothers. Just like I told the brother, I said, once we get, because we close, 300 people donating $100 a month consistently, and I give everybody a tax exempt receipt, that's over. That's 300 grand a year, tax free. Now, it might not be a lot, but that's a good start. And that's only $100 a month. That's not 10%, that's not even a big percentage of people income that's making a lot of money. So I give an analogy. A lot of people that I got a couple people, well, I'm not gonna say a couple people. I deal with individuals that say make 100 grand. So if you don't have any deductions, tax deductions, and you make $100,000, at the end of the year you're gonna be on Uncle Sam maybe from 12 to 15,000 because you have no deductions. But when you're dealing with your religious and charitable contribution of your choice, the money that you're gonna have to give Uncle Sam anyway, you can say, well, I'm gonna support my religious and charitable organization. I'm gonna help them build, and I'm just gonna get a tax exempt receipt. That's how we build infrastructure. That's how we own things in the community, houses, and we build our libraries, and we own things, and we have martial arts, and we have our own basketball teams, and we have our own chess clubs. We have our own mentor and all that, and giving our own scholarships. And our kids don't have to beg or compete with nobody else. We training them to be the best, and that's what we get, and that's what we get to do. That's what we'll be able to do. And it's just a blueprint. That's how all the mega churches survive. That's how all my European Jews, they synagogues big, because everybody donate and everybody just get a tax exempt receipt. And everybody on different financial levels. So everybody donate different, you know, and that's how it works. And we keep missing it because people be saying, oh, I don't have this or I don't have that. And I say, do you work? Yeah. And people say, well, I'll make this much. And I say, do you pay taxes? Yes. And they say, well, y'all got to pay taxes. And that's another thing about Moors when they say they don't pay taxes. Then I say, well, what you do? If you got a job 9 to 5 and you work for somebody, I'll be like, these people be lying, it's cap. You paying taxes. Now, if you're part of religious and charitable contribution, like I'm explaining, and you know how to do it, and you say, I'm a file exempt forever, not just 6 months, and you know why you filing exempt, because you're doing it yourself. Because if you don't do it, they're gonna do it. Because you gotta donate the money. That's the thing. When people talk about Donald Trump, it's breaking the law. Donald Trump don't gotta show nobody his damn taxes if he don't want to. Now, it might not be ethical to you, but it's not illegal. So what they do is they just donate to organizations. They were like, man, nah, they don't care about giving their money to Uncle Sam. That's why all they rich kids and all that, they chairs of what? Nonprofits. Because when these rich people, they just donate to these nonprofits. And they call it philanthropy. But we don't know that. We sitting back and be like, why are they doing all this? Because they donating the money. How this big church is? Because Tyler Perry and them donate millions of dollars. They in a high tax bracket. Oprah give them cars away because she in a high tax bracket. It's a good thing, but they're in a high tax bracket. So I give cars away too, if it's fulfilling my tax duties. And we don't understand, and this is not taught in school. Tax law not taught in school. None of this is taught in school. I've been teaching strategy, and like I said, I'm so close because I got the ear of these young NIL brothers I've been dealing with in Arizona, and I got the ear of their parents, and they like what I'm saying. And so when it pop off, I'm able to sit and just talk with different people. And if these sponsors come in, it's gonna be real, real, real big. And all I'm trying to do is show myself right. I'm not trying to show nobody nothing wrong. I'm trying to be a tax shelter for people and also show them what I'm gonna be able to do in a community with a group of people that feel subjugated, you know, and it can be done. And that's what I've been telling my people. I said, listen, man, we giving it away. What you mean, Sheik? What? You giving it away to taxes. All you got to do is cipher some. And then if people don't understand what I'm saying, I said, everybody can start with $100. I give everybody a tax exempt receipt. Everything that you think you need, you'll have it. You'll have all the books you will need because I'll be your source. I know Moors, they don't even have fezzes and turbans. And I have my own company, my own store. We produce this stuff. We produce all our tunics, cotton or silk. You call them kunthras or tunics. The whole attires, all the turbans you see me wear, the fezzes, everything, we produce it. Everybody that's on here that don't have a fez or a sheet mag or a turban, they should all be getting it from us. They should all be getting them from us. More should be dealing with our mortgage haberdasher company, or more should be hitting me up, emailing me, like, hey, she, what about this book? You know, because I'm doing it with other people. But yeah, brothers, that's what I'm saying. That's how it's done. So if brothers say they part of the temples and they cities, and then they always talking about why nothing's not happening, because the head is just a person that's just a pointer. I'm a person that's done this, own houses in my city of Flint, bring people together, with these other skills, almost like a foreman, and bring people together with skills. Don't put nothing on somebody that they can handle, but see what you're good at and make you a master of that and make you stay in your lane and not make you, but make you the best of who you are. If you the person that paint, you're gonna be the best painter. If you do the roof, you're gonna be the best roofer. One body, many parts. We come together and be what? A conglomerate. That's what I do. I have brothers from all different walks of life and in different states that have been rocking with me for 5 years, you know. And as we build and we working on our families, and we working on our families to get us all together. Because once we get our families, like other movements get they moms and dads and they wives to donate consistently, a lot of people would be like, how is they doing this? It'd be almost like when James Brown went on a Soul Train and he was asking Donnie Simpson, who sponsored this? Because, brothers used to think the European had to always sponsor you. And Donnie Simpson was like, man, me, my family, we did this. And so that's what I wanted to show, brother. But like, we did this. How? With the money that we giving to Uncle Sam willingly. We see the mission that the brother doing. You know, we see the mission. We see exactly what he doing. Been doing it for years. It can be done. We already established on paper. I've already done everything I'm talking about, from mentoring kids to mentoring adults, from going to the prisons, from graduating from university. Coming from Flint, Michigan, my brother was murdered. Seeing my cousin murdered. Seeing my friend get killed by the police. All these things. I had a lot of friends go pro from my city, and they right back in the city. And now I established something. And, what I tell people, I accept everyone, and everybody have a place in what I'm doing. But when people, I always say, you should never tell nobody what they should do with their money. Because a lot of times when people say they'll do something with some money, when they get it, they do none of the sorts. So a lot of people say, oh, when I go pro or when I do this for my community, they went pro, and nothing never happened. And so now everybody have to come back to the neighborhood and it's raggedy. And now we on the cusp to be able to do some things, to be able to come to the community. I'll just give an analogy. What we're doing right now. Because I want to help somebody. I try to help people not get hustled. I know how to get land. I know how to get acres and acres and acres. Anybody know me, they be like, yeah, that man got 40 acres in St. John's, Arizona. Like, yeah, that man got 10 acres with his muftis in Mojave, Arizona. I know how to help people get land. That's number one. To build your homestead with no problem. Just give me a finder's fee and I'm out your hair. No hassle, no hustle. People be like, man, this brother that showed me how to get all these acres and let me go out and gave the brother a finder's fee for his time. Just like houses and neighborhoods. I got the whole land bank list. I just show people where to get it from. You go through it. You do your old bit. Now I ain't got nothing to do with nothing. But if you need somebody to help you get the roof done and all that, I know people that do work. Electricians, etc. You know? So that's what I tell people, man. But that's what that's what I tell a lot of individuals with what's going on. But besides anything else, man, I'm gonna continue going on lecturing, man. Like I said, I love what I do. Like I said, a time and a place for everything, and all good things always come to an end. How they say all good things come to an end, but they should. You know, and that's how you leave a good imprint on what you're doing, and then you go to the next level. It's just like high school, sports, college, and then boom, those opportunities present itself, but it be contingent on you You know what I'm saying? It'd be contingent on you let some other things go to go to the next level, which is hard. You know what I mean? Because I love coming on here speaking to people freely about a lot of things you may not get, or just dealing with your own kind of Moors or college people or professors, and then they'll speak of books, and I show them, and I tell people you don't have to believe nothing I'm saying, just research it, you know. So I love doing this because I've been challenged by professors that's 3, 4, 5 times chair in certain fields of academia, in law, in history, you know. I even been in the laboratories. I'm able to look through the test tubes and the beakers and look at genes and things, you know. I know at one point a lot of people used to think misnomer black people were the only ones that can create albino, and I said that's not true. I was able to even see how this worked. It's almost like a defect per se that any species can get. Any species can get that, but that's a whole nother topic. But a lot of information that I give, you have to go to college. You have to be introduced to things like a lot of people may never even heard of Charles A. Wiseman. When I talk about life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, and the other document that be taught in Harvard and Oxford and Cambridge, a lot of the stuff I talk about be spoke on and lectured at universities in Europe. So I don't come on here to be a know-it-all or for no one to believe me or to be disrespected. I use this for people that have intellectual capacity and and to treat people with respect. I've been on this thing for a long time, got a lot of disrespect from a lot of people that look like me, because people don't know my friend Issa. He be on my page a lot. He used to be, what they call it? I forget what they call it. But anyway, one of my partners, he researched everybody that be on my page. And he'd be like, Sheik, this person live here, their address. He'd go on Google Maps and be like, boom, 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 boom. And so it used to be this one, the only real harass I got was from a European. Was this one European used to be on the internet messing with everybody. I think his name was Swindle King Hoodwink or something like that. And he came on my page one time talking crazy, and I talked to him with love. And then I guess I know he from Illinois. I know he from a lodge, and I think one of the European lodge dudes must have said something to him and came back with his beard and everything cut. Was like, I want to apologize. I'm not gonna disrespect no real Moors, but the rest of them ones, whatever that talk that crazy stuff, I will talk about. But the real Moors, you know who you are. That's out there. I apologize and blah 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 blah. You know. Cause I don't disrespect nobody. Tried to call me Easter like you, or I said something to call me black, something, 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 some shit, you know. But I take everything with a grain of salt, But I said, you're gonna eat those words, brother from Illinois. He was like, huh? Turned it because people think because they had their camera off, it mean nothing. I'm like, dude, I said, I know you live in Illinois. Like we shouldn't even be on here trying to be bullies. Cause there's nothing fake about me, and there's nothing fake about you. I'm human, you human. So, if that's the case, then we should have a level of understanding. And then if you know that I'm your father, per se, in this science, we definitely not gonna do that. Cause you're a son of a Muslim if you a Mason, and especially all Europeans. Most of them are Scottish, right? So they know that they sons of Muslims, and it's no disrespect, and it's no reason for us to be on the internet disrespecting each other. you know. But I tell everybody else, get my information because a lot of things now, like I said, it's not. I'm not gonna be doing none of this. We still have our StreamYard, and I think we still have our Temple YouTube channel. But I want brothers to really get with me. That's serious, you know. So we can be private. So I can take everybody to my private Zoom. And so when we have these discussions, when things going to the next level, the next process, we don't have to be on here, you know, talking or answering a whole bunch of questions if we don't want to, because we're not trying to prove nothing to anyone. But a lot of things don't need to be discussed sometimes, especially when you have the right to be private. And I'm trying to bring everybody private. I believe I've been courting everybody long enough. You know, I've been courting everybody long enough. So any other question, brother Matthew, before I get out of here? Yeah, brother Master, anything else you want before I get out of here, Noble? Any other question? Yeah, but I hope everybody be safe, man. But Master, if you want that wisdom, you know how to get with me. I share my information. Any piece of wisdom that you need, man, get with me. Or if it's any other book, anything, I have it. If I don't have it, I have it in my library, Respect, and I get it, no boss. Just ready to read that book. Yep, yep. I told you I got you. All you gotta do is get with me, man. You send me your email, you hit me up. You know my email. I think I shared it yesterday when you was on here. I think you wrote it down. Hit me up. I'll send it. I'll send it right to you. I ain't charging you nothing. I want you to have it. My gift to you. You know what I mean? It'll be my gift to you. And you can read it. Anything you confused over. Not only myself, I have all my muftis with me, and we can have a good discussion over it. And you can get it from a whole panel, you know, from brothers that's gonna come from straight love. And I got brothers all different ages, from all different states. My youngest mufti is 27. He live in Texas. His name is Drayshawn. He just had his new little girl. And we getting ready to have our 5th annual Moors Ball in, like, I think it's called College Park or College whatever, Texas. Yeah, we'll be out there in the middle of March, me and all my muftis. Yeah. Where I hope all my muftis be able to make it. You know how that go. But with that being said, man, thank you for listening to me for about an hour. If you don't have nothing else, man, like I said, if you don't have no other question about anything, like I said, let me know on here if there's something you want to be cleared up real fast. I got a couple more minutes. I'm just waiting. And I got a meeting, yep. Oh, he said at 10:15. What time is it? It's 10:05. Yeah, I got a Zoom meeting at 10:15. And see, I got a meeting at 10:15 with some brothers about this sovereign citizen stuff that got caught up in Detroit. That's what I be telling people. They be wanting to want to be on these private things because a lot of people don't be wanting to talk lies. So I have a whole private Zoom, and I got these brothers on here getting ready to tell like, yeah, they've been misguided, which a lot of these brothers are. They've been misguided, and so a lot of stuff I don't talk about. I've been sharing it forever. And so a lot of brothers, I say, don't get on the internet talking about things with people. People use that against you. But with that being said, man, I love y'all. Peace, light, and illumination. I'm out of here.